Have you ever felt a moment before it happened? Not just a gut feeling, but a vivid, almost cinematic preview. A scene you swear you've lived through, right down to the way the air shifts before it hits you. Some folks call it déjà vu. Others say it's something deeper, something brushing up against the edge of time itself. Here on Paranormal Nightshift, we lean in when the strange becomes familiar, when a dream feels more like a message, when the past creeps forward with something to say. I'm your host, Andy, and tonight we're stepping into a listener-submitted story that might just make you second-guess your next déjà vu. But before we dive in, I've got something for those of you who crave more than just the eerie now and then. Head over to paranormalnightshift.com to grab your free copy of The Birth of Dimensional Desperado, the first ebook in our time-bending supernatural series. It's where Buck Shadow Sheriff Freeman's paranormal journey through time begins, and trust me, it's a wild ride. Now, turn down the lights, silence the world, and lean in close, because this next story from Trisha isn't just about falling. It's about seeing the fall coming and still not being able to stop it. I was about 8 years old when it happened, old enough to ride my bike unsupervised on the sidewalk, but still young enough to be scared of the dark hallway upstairs. We lived on a military base at the time, in one of those cookie-cutter two-story homes where everything echoed just a little too much and the stairs creaked like they had secrets. Our house was simple but comfortable. Upstairs were the bedrooms, mine, my parents, and my little brothers, lined up like tidy compartments in a dollhouse. Downstairs was where life happened. The living room, where the TV never worked quite right. The kitchen that always smelled faintly of peanut butter toast. And the dining room that only got used when someone important was coming over. And then there was Bear. Bear was our dog, half German Shepherd, half something fluffier, and all loyalty. We'd had him since he was a puppy, and by the time of this story, he was already a small tank with fur. He wasn't the kind of dog that barked unless he meant it. Mostly, he just followed me around like a furry shadow, usually laying himself right across walkways like a living booby trap. Now, a week or so before the fall, I'd had a dream. One of those vivid ones that cling to you even after you've brushed your teeth and started your day. In the dream, I was walking out of my room, half aware and still groggy, when Bear was there, stretched out like a rug across the top of the staircase. I didn't see him until it was too late. My foot caught on his back leg and I went airborne. I could feel the panic, the wind rushing past me, my hand reaching out to grab the curved grip attached to the edge of the banister, trying to slow my fall. But it didn't help. I fell all the way down, helpless, watching each step blur by as I tumbled toward the bottom. I jolted awake right as I hit the front door in my dream. I remember telling my mom about it the next morning. She smiled the way moms do when they're trying to reassure you, but don't actually believe you. Dreams are just dreams, she said, ruffling my hair. Bear wouldn't let you fall, but he did. It was maybe a week later, a normal afternoon. I had just come out of my room. Nothing special, nothing weird. The house was quiet. I could hear Bear's paws padding softly down the hallway, and I thought he'd gone downstairs. I followed. I don't remember seeing him. I just remember tripping suddenly, violently, and the world flipping sideways. My foot caught something solid and warm, and in the span of a breath, I was airborne, exactly like in the dream. The second my body lurched forward, my brain screamed. This already happened. I flailed, reaching out desperately for the small overhang, the grip on the banister, just like in the dream. My fingertips brushed it, even curled around it for half a second, but the momentum was too strong. My hand slipped and I was gone. 22 stairs. I know because I counted them afterward. My body aching and my pride shattered. I hit each one like a bag of laundry, tumbling and twisting, finally coming to a full stop with a thud against the front door. The house was silent for a moment, like it was holding its breath. Then Bear came, trotting down the stairs after me, tail wagging, tongue out, like he hadn't just been responsible for fulfilling a minor prophecy. I lay there for a minute, trying to catch my breath, trying to decide if I should cry or laugh or check for broken bones. My elbow throbbed, my hip was sore, but I was okay. What wasn't okay, what still isn't really, was how familiar it had felt. Not just the fall, but the fear, the helplessness, the exactness of it all. Like time had looped back and said, "Hey, remember this? You saw it coming." I told my mom again, this time with more urgency. She looked a little spooked, but still offered a shrug. "Well," she said, slowly, "maybe it was a warning dream. Maybe. Or maybe it was something else entirely. Something I'm still trying to make sense of all these years later." But from that day on, I never walked near those stairs without checking for bear first. And I never took my dreams lightly again. And that brings us to the end of tonight's story. Trisha, thank you for sharing something so personal and so unsettling. That feeling of knowing, of watching the moment unfold just like you saw it in a dream. It sticks with you. And I think a lot of us listening tonight are going to be side-eyeing our own déjà vu from now on. If you enjoyed this episode, there's a few ways you can support the show and keep these stories coming. First, consider joining us over on Patreon. You'll get ad-free episodes, early access, and exclusive content from the world of Dimensional Desperado. But if Patreon's not your thing, no worries. Subscribing to the podcast on Spotify or YouTube helps a ton. And while you're there, leave a comment. Let us know what you thought about this story. Your feedback honestly means more than you know. And don't forget, ParanormalNightshift.com is your portal to the weird. That's where you can claim your free copy of The Birth of Dimensional Desperado and dive deeper into Buck Freeman's supernatural saga. Finally, if you've got a story, whether it's a flicker of fear, a brush with something you can't explain, or a dream that came true the hard way, send it in. We're always listening. Because here at Paranormal Nightshift, the night doesn't just fall. It remembers. Until next time, stay curious, stay alert, and keep one foot in the light. The shadows are always closer than you think.